Observed. Good afternoon to everyone here today and those viewing online. It is my pleasure today to introduce you to Close the Loop Caribbean. Here we go. Close the Loop is a consortium of partners coming together from different sectors such as NGO, I Am Movement, as our quarry rehab partner, SME Hello Green, as the executing partner, and Tucana Limited, which is a division of AP Scott, our composting partner. So here we can see we have a consortium consisting of an SME, an NGO, and a corporation. Close the Loop Caribbean was designed to operate as an independent private entity, but which ultimately represents, supports, and works with a growing group of partners, forming a working cluster. These three primary partners whose work and projects are being brought together under Close the Loop to form our first major circular economy system, which is capturing waste and transforming it into many beneficial uses. But what exactly is circular economy? Let's take a look at this brief video from the European Environment Agency to learn a bit more. I can explain a bit better how our circular economy system is going to work. So here we have this diagram that showcases the different elements and moving parts of Close the Loop's main model, how the processes and projects led by different partners work together in a circular economy approach to enable the greater success of each individually, but also as a collective vehicle. At the bottom of the loop, we can see where waste management and logistics, where organic waste, for example, from different sources across TNT is captured and channeled upwards to the left and right, namely to degraded quarries, where it is being spread for the rehabilitation and regeneration of topsoil, and to composting, where organic waste is processed into high-quality organic live culture compost for use on various projects and sale to the market. In turn, both of these activities, the rehabilitation of quarries and soils and commercial composting, both sequester carbon. Each key project, therefore, can achieve verified and certified sequestered carbon, and thus, following the loop, we can see carbon credits from these projects being channeled to the top, where they can be verified for feasibility of trading on the voluntary carbon markets. In so doing, through this activity, Close the Loop will support the establishment of the carbon markets in the Caribbean and provide offsets generated through local projects. Close the Loop, through our partner I Am Movement, will serve as a vehicle to help achieve Trinidad and Tobago's land degradation neutrality targets of 100 hectares of degraded land. Through its model of generating revenue to support land regeneration activities, helping to restore ecosystems in Trinidad and Tobago, and sequestering carbon while providing community engagement and employment opportunities. We are also ensuring that each project and sub-activity has revenue generation activities. So in the case of land regeneration, we can see here that one, we will have carbon offsets calculated, as well as the ability to have ESG verified projects. Tucana's industrial composting facility, as seen here, will be the first of its caliber for Trinidad and Tobago, being built according to international guidelines and standard operating procedures for composting facilities with respect to noise and air pollution, odor, proximity to neighbors, water runoff management, etc. It is also conveniently located in close proximity to the nation's largest landfill, the Beetham landfill. At our facility, we will also have a task scale for quantifying some of the data, as we discussed earlier in some of the other discussions, where there's a lack of data currently. We will be able to quantify the amount of organic waste coming into our facility, which directly relates to the amount of carbon that it will be able to avoid. A waste management system that we have integrated into our model will be one of it will be a subscription model, where we will collect waste from already extensive customer base, such as cafes and restaurants, through Hello Green. They will now be able to boast their own CSR and ESG initiatives to their customers through our program, such as X amount of waste was recycled this month, or X amount of organic waste was channeled away from the landfill to composting. This will provide not only a form of operational revenue, but also provide organic feedstock to our facility, which is needed for our quarry rehabilitation work, while tackling key plaguing waste management issues and involving and creating livelihood opportunities and other co-benefits. Again, the revenue here would be from the generation of the collection through the subscription model, as well as buyers of processed and packaged waste inputs. Carbon credits were discussed in brief by some of the speakers before, but as mentioned, we are setting a foundation to explore Caribbean-generated carbon offsets for the carbon asset industry. This will increase the accessibility to both individuals and corporations. We believe in Close the Loop that anyone should be able to choose how they spend their own funds towards carbon offsets and other projects initiatives such as tree planting in a verifiable and accountable manner. We will also be able to provide a safe platform to purchase through integration with technology, e-commerce, digital currencies, where these sales go directly back towards supporting and expanding local impact projects in our loop. More and more brands are embracing this messaging. Some examples can be seen here, as well as many of the examples already given in today's presentations. We can also see the We Climate app, which was already introduced earlier by Jonathan Barker, which we expect to also have developed with an avenue for carbon sales. There are important elements of blockchain impact as well to be explored here. This is an excerpt from our carbon market partner, Mora Caribbean, who is actually joining us today. It identifies industrial composting as a viable method of carbon avoidance through its avoidance of methane production, which can be quantified and verified for carbon trading. Here we also see a snapshot of the current carbon market pricing and the different types, so compliance versus voluntary, further showing the need for advocacy in this space for Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean region, as well as the viability of this industry as a form of generating green finance opportunities. Currently, there are very few, if any, Caribbean carbon credits that can be purchased, and thus all of the funds that companies are spending to offset leave our region. We want to keep those resources here locally and regionally. Through our model, we recognize that through our work with organic waste and other various stakeholders, such as farmers, the need for other agri-related solutions was discovered, such as an effective non-toxic method of dealing with giant African snails, the invasive sargassum seaweed, and other pests. We also know that the inputs being used in our model can generate value-added products, such as animal feed, compostable packaging, films, alcohol, and craft products. Close the Loop will include an on-site R&D facility, which will continue to explore the viability of commercializing any of these products. And while Close the Loop model was primarily founded on the need to capture and channel appropriate organic waste, we recognize that there are other plaguing forms as we just discussed. Given the capacities of some of our key implementing partners, we recognize the ability under this project to carry out R&D to tackle some of these other forms, such as landfill leachate and pesticide runoff with Vetiver and exploring plastic lumber with AP Scott Limited. Close the Loop has a team of independent consultants from various sectors already involved, with more experts in academia, ESG compliance, energy efficiency, and other key areas to be integrated. Here's a snapshot of some of the consultants that have already worked with us and are continue to do so. We have Ronald Roach, who will serve as the lead waste management consultant and systems consultant. Tamara Bajuwan, who will serve as our lead carbon asset development consultant. And we have Lars Keval, who will serve as an advisor and consultant on carbon asset management and digital integration, including green digital currencies. We believe that collaboration is the way forward, fostering relationships through networks and building capacities together. Here are some of our other partners that will contribute towards the success of Close the Loop, including public and private entities, as well as regional organizations, all interested in the common goal of creating sustainable and impactful business models that benefit our region. There are various forms of expected revenue, which will be ready for market at different stages and time periods. We already discussed some of our products, such as compost and carbon credits, and our secondary focus on R&D products and identifying more investable impact projects to add to the loop model. We will also provide green consulting solutions on ESG and carbon compliance, waste management, supply chain efficiencies, nature-based solutions and projects, and project matching services to meet the needs and goals of public and private entities. To recap, these are the key activities of Close the Loop Caribbean, which provide solutions to a number of seemingly distinct challenge areas, but which have been found to be in fact strongly linked through the particular circular economy approach being proposed. They will have many co-benefits for Trinidad and Tobago, such as inclusive employment, waste management and mitigation, land and soil regeneration, increase in food productivity, decreased dependence on chemical pesticides and fertilizers, reduction of CO2 equivalents and CO2, and persistent pollutants into the environment, where actions are tied together through a unique, innovative, and connective circular solution, which also provides sustainable green finance, tying together people, profits, and planet. Thank you.